Hey guys. It's Tracy Jackson here. I'm on. Thanks you guys for hopping on. I see there's a couple people on here. Just type in the chat if you can hear me. Yeah. Okay, cool. How's everybody doing this morning? We're going to give another couple minutes for people to hop on, and then we will get, hey Lil, hey Kevin, Shirley. We're making sacrifices on this Saturday morning, right? I'm just printing out my little note sheet here so I don't have to keep referring back to it, but you're welcome, Lil. Oh, what's he saying? Oh my goodness. Well, thanks for being here, Shirley. Hopefully I can help clear some stuff up for you with using this tool here. All right, we're just gonna give it another second for some people to hop on. And if the people who are here, just type 1, yes, it's being recorded. And let me just double check that it's recording. Perfect. All right, just type in the chat 1 if you have used TradingView before, and then type 2 if you have never heard of it. Okay. All right, so we got both. So I might have to break it down pretty simple here, okay. But I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. All right, good. So we got some more people hopping on. Just keep in mind any questions you have as we go along. If I need to re-go over anything, then I can do that. And if you have any questions, just type them in the chat and I'll try to check back here so I can see what you guys are saying. So good morning everybody who's hopping onto this webinar. My name is Tracy Jackson and I'm going to be just going over some basics of using TradingView and how you can use it to do better analysis on the market as far as looking for setups and marking your charts. To me, it's a more effective tool than using MetaTrader. Most people do start off using MetaTrader, but it has its good and bad. But TradingView is what a lot of people do use. If you'll notice, you know, just because it's a little more user friendly and it has more features. The recording, we'll make it available as soon as it's finished. Craig, we'll make sure that you can get the recording. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to start from the very beginning. So TradingView is basically a platform that you can use to really analyze the market. It's got a lot of different features. I'm going to try to go through as much as I can. But pretty much it's got a free version, which most people use, and it's got ways that you can do a paid version. I'm going to log out so I can show you what it looks like when you haven't signed up yet, okay? And this is my little document here. So the first step, if you've never used TradingView, you're going to want to create a free account. You're pretty much just going to go to tradingview.com, okay? You'll see on this first page here, there's a lot of different things going on. It's almost like a social platform because it does have ways that you can look at other people's analysis. If you see this on the first page here, So a lot of this stuff I don't use, but I want to just say what it is in case somebody wants to look into it. But you can post different analysis on different pairs and post ideas and chat with other traders also on this platform. So just know that it has a lot of those features. If you see down here on the bottom, it says community. So you can chat with people, you can follow different traders. So it's pretty neat for that. You can upload other people's setups and different things like that. I don't use that part, but just know that that's what all this is, okay? And then you've also got the charting feature, and that's the main part that I use, okay? So just go to tradingview.com. You're going to click join for free, okay? And it's pretty much just gonna let you sign up, and you just fill out the information and it's going to create an account for you, okay? But since I already have an account, I'm just going to log into mine. I can do it right. One second here. I go to the right part, right? All right, so this is how it will look. Okay, so once you create a free account, it's going to put your name up here. You'll see that your name that you created will be up here on the right, okay? Now this says pro next to mine because I do have the paid feature, but you can start with the free, okay? So it's pretty simple. That's how you set up the account, all right? So I'm just looking at my notes here, guys. So the next part will be, so starting with a free membership. So when you have the free account, it will ask you if you try to do like a certain feature that's not available with Pro, with the free account, then it will ask you if you want to upgrade. You don't have to upgrade, but I'm going to go over a little bit the difference of the plans here, okay? So there are some limitations with the free, and I think this is kind of new because I used to be able to add as many indicators as I wanted to, but they've changed it a little bit, I guess. So if you go to the plans page, it will show you the differences. So with the free version, I'm just going to point out the main things. You can only use one chart layout at a time. With the Pro, you can use 2, and then it goes to 4, and then 8, okay? I just have the Pro Plus, I believe. So that's $19.95 a month. You can try it for free, like I said, for 30 days. It will give you most of the features, so you can play around with it. So I think that's really good. And once I did the free one, I liked it, so I did upgrade. But you don't have to. So I just tell everyone, just try it for free, okay, for 30 days to see if you like it. And so you can use it on 2 different devices at a time. Like I do use it on my phone. So sometimes if I have it up, if you have it up on your computer and then you try to log in from your phone, if you have just the free or the Pro version, it will log you out of the other one. So that's just one thing that it does. Unless you have the Pro account, you can be on both devices. And then the other main thing that people always ask is that indicators are limited. When you have the free version, you won't be able to add more than 3 indicators. On the Pro, you can use 5. On the Pro Plus, you can add 10, and so on, okay? And then there was another one with, oh, okay, I did mention that. So if you want to use multiple charts, okay, that's the 1, 2, or 4 pairs to look at different pairs at a time. I know that's a feature that a lot of people like. I do like that feature because I like to be able to watch multiple charts. And then you guys can go and look and see what the differences are if you want to do the paid. Again, you don't have to, but these are where they compare the different packages. I think that the data is a little bit quicker on the Pro, meaning that it'll be more, the speed will be more efficient as far as how the pairs of the price is moving, but I don't notice a big difference between the free and the Pro, okay? So you can go through that. It's all on the website here to see what the difference is, but those are the main ones. Does anyone have any questions about that? Oh, the watch list. Which one is the best? Well, again, just try the free one first, and then it depends on what you want it for. Like, I do like being able to see different pairs, so I like that I can see 4 pairs at a time with the Pro Plus. Again, you may not use all of the features, so it just depends on which features you want. With the Pro, you can watch 2 pairs. With the Pro Plus, you can have 4 pairs up at a time. And then also, depending on how many indicators you use is another one. If you just only want to use 5 indicators at a time, maybe Pro would be good for you. If you want more access to have more indicators on there, you can use 10. Again, we try not to use a whole bunch of indicators, so it just depends on what features you want the most. You may be just fine using the free. It depends. But I would start, if you pay, just start with the Pro. You can always upgrade. The topic is TradingView. I'm just going to go over how to use different tools on TradingView, Ernest, and how to use it for your analysis. And Heidi, I didn't forget your question. I'm going to try to see if I can show that when I open up my screen. The watch list, you should be, 1 second. When I log in, I'll show you. All right, so I don't want to spend too much time on that. That's the plans, okay? Again, try the free. Remember, you can write it off depending on how you're doing this trading, for yourself. It is a tax write-off if you're using it as a business. Anything that you pay for your trading business, if you're doing it that way, okay? All right, so let me look at these charts here. So when you first, okay, so how do you pull up a chart? This tab right here where it says chart is where you're going to get your charts at. So sometimes I'll just click in this box here. You've logged in, you created a free account, and you're going to pull up a chart. So I'm going to pull up my favorite chart. And you'll just type in whatever pair you want, and it'll get you to the charts, okay? I think Tony she was asking me, how do I get to the chart? So this is how you'll type in a pair, and you will just click on it. Now, you will see when you pull up charts, they have different brokers connected to it really doesn't matter because you're not trading from this chart. So I'll just show you. You see how it says Oanda, Forex.com. So there's different kinds or versions, I guess. I don't think it really matters. I just click on one. But just know that if you save the chart, it will save it under whichever one you picked it. So just make sure you pick the same one, I guess, each time. So just click on, I'm just going to click on the Oanda AU. The price and the movement, it's going to be the same. It doesn't really matter. So let me just see if I can answer. You said the chart watch or market watch. That watch list on the right, who asked that? Heidi, I think. So these little tabs on the side, you can open and close. You should be able to just click that little, whatever's highlighted, this little news report thing up here, and you can open and close. You can take that away if you see that. So pretty much you're going to want to, your chart's not going to open like this. It's probably going to be a blank one. Let me see if I can just clear. Start over. 1 second. Maybe reset my chart. No. I want to show you how your chart will come up because I already have mine set up. It will probably just be a blank. It'll probably be the white color theme, something like this. It's probably how it will come up. Okay. So I'm going to take all these off to see if I can start fresh here, because I have my template saved so I can always come back to it. So it might look like this, okay? So, oh, good. All right, good. Yeah, it's always something simple, right? Okay, so your chart will look pretty plain, all right? So I want to just go over how to set up your chart the way you want it. The top up here, you're going to see your time frames, okay? Well, actually, I'm going to go back. I'm just going to show you how to switch the colors. So you got different themes. You have white, gray, blue, black. Whatever theme that you like, if you like it black, some people like a black blue background. Some people want it blue. I personally like gray. It'll probably start out white, so you can change it. So what I'm doing is I'm right-clicking on the screen. When you right-click on the screen, pretty much all your features that you're able to do will come up. If you ever don't know how to do something, it will come up if you right-click, okay? You got drawing tools, you got indicator templates, everything if you right-click, okay? Properties of the chart will come up here. So pick a theme by right-clicking and go to theme. I'm going to do gray because I like gray, okay? And then if you right-click again, you can go to properties of your chart. So go to properties, and pretty much this is the properties of your chart, okay? It will allow you to switch your candles. It will allow you to pick what colors you want for your candles, if you want to change them. Borders just means like the little black wicks here. If you want to change, I just leave those the same. And I don't mess with this other stuff on here. The only thing that I change are if I want the candles, and you can do that up here as well. There's always multiple ways on here you can change stuff. So I'm gonna change my candles to, I have custom, I don't know why I like blue and orange, but I do my bullish candles blue and I do my bearish candles orange, okay? So it will change them. And then I also always use Hikanashi. So beautiful. It's much easier than MetaTrader because that platform drives me crazy. So you literally just pick what you want. So, and then just remember, I don't use bars, but there's other things you can use here. Bars if you want hollow candles, if you want, sometimes I'll use a line chart when I'm setting support and resistance. So that can be helpful sometimes, but mostly, and some of these other features down here like Renko, you can't use if you don't have a certain paid account. So just remember, if you're trying to do certain settings, it might, and it won't let you, it may be if you don't have a paid account, but the basic features are available with the free account, okay? So I'm gonna go to Hikanashi. Scales, I don't really mess with this part. Background, if you want to remove these grids here, what you'll have to do is make your grid lines the same color. So let's see. Okay, so you can, sometimes you have to play around with it, but make your, I don't like the grid lines, so you can, whatever background color you want, just make all of these the same color. So if you want it gray, just make all the grid lines gray. If you want it darker, and you'll just make it, I think I use this middle gray color. Do you guys see that? So that's how you just take those grid lines away because they bother me. All right. So, and then the watermark, I think someone was asking about that. If you want, this just is where the pair name comes in the back of this, the screen there. I kind of just make it darker. Click a darker gray, and then if you scale it up, it should go on there. There you go. So usually the watermark does come up, but if you play with the background, you may have to, because I like the pair to show on the back of the screen. So you just, again, just go to properties if you want to change anything with your background or the chart. And then go to background, pick the color background that you want if you want to change it. And then if you want that watermark there with the name of the pair and the time frame on the back, just click, you'll have to make it at least a darker or a lighter color than what it already is. So you can customize it how dark or light you want it here. And I mean, there's a lot of other I mean, you can play around with it, but I just want to show you guys the main features. All right, so we're still talking about setting up the main chart here. All right, so let's go to properties again and see time zone. It starts out on the UTC. You can change it to the New York time zone so that your times come up to where you, the time is down here for the time zone. So you can switch that. I don't really use the session breaks, but you can play around with it. Sometimes people want those session breaks where it'll separate the different days for you. Those blue lines will come up. You can pretty much play around with it and do however you like your chart. Everybody's going to want it different. Yeah, I don't mess with any of these down here. So this is pretty much just the background and how you want it. Whatever theme you want, you can customize it, your candles and your colors, okay? So that's under properties by right-clicking and clicking properties. Now, if you want to, does anybody have any questions about the background and the layout? Okay, cool. All right, so I'm gonna go to the drawing tools. So on the left side here, you have all your tools, okay? I leave mine on the cross. If you see this little cross as I'm moving, it's a good tool because it can help you to line up and see if you're looking at certain candles or if you're looking at a certain price level. You can see as I go up and down, the price will move, so you can kind of use it as like a measuring tool, as a guide, okay? If you're looking to go to a certain price, you can just move it up, move it down. In order to move your screen, you're going to slide the middle button on your mouse. You can slide it up and down. It's going to zoom in and out, okay? And I think there's also a zoom button somewhere over here. So you can zoom in and out. I don't use that tool, but it's there. But you'll slide your mouse up and down to move it. And then I also like it because it's, oh, that's right. You can go like this, zoom in, and you can pick an area that you want to zoom in and almost like screenshot it, okay? But I just like to use my mouse. You can go to price over here and pull it up and down to make it smaller, okay? So that's how you scrunch it down, and you can slide it. So I like this because it's really difficult on MetaTrader to do this. You can slide it up and down by clicking your mouse and then just moving price, moving the whole chart to get a better view. So it's very easy. You can just play around with that, resizing and removing the chart depending on what you want to see, okay? So you have your price along the right side over here, all of your price, and then the bottom here, again, is where you're gonna see your times. So if you're looking for a certain time, then you can do that. You can search at the bottom. There's also a search here. This is a neat tool. I don't know if anyone wants to look at like what price bid for a certain date, but you can click down here, go to, and you can actually go to a certain date. Like if you want to see what this pair did last month or whatever, okay, you can search that way as well. When you're back testing, like if you want to see what price did, again, you can just click your mouse and slide all the way back as far as you want, okay? So this, you'll just play with this, okay? It's very, very simple to maneuver it, to move it around, to do what you want it to do. Okay? Your time frames are going to be up top. So if you click on the time frames up here, 1 hour, you can click the drop down. On any of these different features, a lot of them you can set favorites, okay? So you may just start out with having maybe one time frame up here, and it'll make you do a drop down, and then you can select, and you'll see my chart will change to different time frames. When you change the time frame, sometimes you'll have to adjust the size, which is what I just showed you. So you may have to crunch your price, because I went down to the 5-minute. Or if you go to a larger time frame, let's say 3 hours, I never use that one, but it'll get all funky. Just go to your price line over here and just pull it down, click and pull it down, and it will resize it, okay? And then you can zoom and do whatever, okay? So these are your time frames up here. Now, if you want to select your favorite time frames, I like the 15, the 30, and the 1 hour, just click the star over here. So if I want to select 5-minute as my favorite, just click the star and it will come up here. So then now if I want to change it, I can just come up here and click, come up here and click it like that, okay? So you can customize this whole chart to however you want to look at it, okay? Type of 1 if you guys are following me and if this makes sense. Is there, yeah, there's no app, good. There's no app from what I know. I just go on my browser on my phone and go to tradingview.com and I just look at it that way. And pretty much however you set your chart up, the way you have it on your computer, it will come up the same way on your phone. And you still can adjust it too. You can change the time frames on your phone. It's a little bit trickier, but it can be done. If you tap your screen on your phone and hold it, the properties and stuff will come up. You can change the time frame. You can view several different pairs like that on your phone as well. All right, so that is the time frames. Good. All right, so let's go to, I think I went over everything I wanted to talk about on that. Yeah, so setting your favorites. Oh, also you can create your own time frame, which that's neat. Some people are like, can I view a 3-minute or can I view a 2-day? I don't know why you would, but just remember, if you want to, you can click here. Let's say I want a 10-minute time frame. I want to view what price does every 10 minutes. You can just go down here and click 10 and you can add, or you can change it to hours, days, weeks. And then you can add it and it will add it to your time frame. I think that's really neat. And you can get rid of any of these, you can add them, so you can customize everything any way that you want, okay? That's pretty cool. All right, so let's talk about indicators, okay? How do we put indicators? Okay, you guys have questions? 1 second. Show you how to click the broker. Oh, how to link the broker. Oh, you can't trade from this platform, unfortunately. Yes, it's being recorded. Yeah, you didn't miss anything from the beginning. But yes, yeah, recorded in case you did. Yeah, so let me see. Oanda used to be on here, but I don't see it anymore. I know we're not using the FXCM. So I don't know, because I can't answer that. I don't trade from here. There are, and I don't know who these two brokers are, but Oanda did used to be on here. If you can trade from here on Oanda, I don't know how. I don't know how to connect that, Cass. Yeah, but yeah, I did see Oanda, because when I first started using this, Oanda was on here. I know that's, but yeah, if you do, there's other features, and you can click on this trading panel. And if it was here, I would assume you can click on here and then connect your account through there. Okay, so let's talk about the indicators here. If you want to add indicators, you can go to this indicators button up top, or again, you should be able to right click and click insert indicator. So there's 2 ways you can do that. Let's see, let's add a lot of people use a moving average, right? So I use the moving average exponential. So again, you can favorite anything that you want by clicking the star. When on TradingView, there's the people can publish different indicators that they've used on here. And I don't get too much into it, but if you want to explore it, there are, I mean, don't confuse yourself because there's a ton of stuff out there. It can get you, you'll be like, oh, what's this? What's this? But yeah, I don't mess with that. There are indicators that you can click on and people will show you, how to use it, whatever. I just click on the basics indicator, okay? So moving average, you can star it, make it your favorite if you want. Click on exponential, and it will automatically add it to your chart, okay? So I'm going to add, if you click it again, it will add another one. And if you look up to the left here, your indicator list will come up here on your left under the name of your pair, okay? So I'm gonna add a couple of those. I'm gonna add a MACD. I know a lot of people use that one. I use the very first one, the basic one. There's different strategies and all kinds of stuff. Just pick the basic one, okay? So you click on it, it'll add it to your chart, okay? I'm going to add a RSI. You can just literally go through the list and add what you want to add. Again, depending on what package you have, it may only let you add a certain number of ones, okay? So RSI, relative strength, I'm going to add that. Is there any other indicator that you guys want me to add that you guys typically use? Let's see. Some people use Bollinger Band. You can type in Bollinger Band and click on the first one, the most basic one, okay? Oh yes, stochastic. I did used to do that. So stochastic, you can add that and just click on there. It'll pop it on your screen, whatever you, okay. So yeah, that's pretty much what I use. I'm going to add another moving average because I think I use, so exponential. Okay, so pretty much just go down the list and put whatever indicators you want and it will throw them on your screen, okay? No, it's silly. Okay. All right, so I think that's pretty much it. But if there's anything else, whatever indicator is probably in here. So just type in this search bar and it'll come up, okay? So do you see that everything popped up down here and the list of moving averages is up here, okay? I might not have said it, but yeah, your pair name comes up here the minute that you're on, the chart that you're, and we're not connected to anything, but that's just the one that I pulled up, and then the candles, okay? This is your open, high, low, and close number of the candle. So whatever candle you hover over, I don't use this, but some people do. Whatever candle you hover over, that's what this open, it means the price of the open of the candle, how high the candle went, how low the candle went, and where it closed at. So you can get that data as well. So now, if you want to play around with your indicators, you can click on the format button. So with each indicator, do you see these little gray boxes here? I want to make sure you guys see those gray boxes on each indicator. Type in one if you see those little gray. They're kind of really faint because my background is gray. Type one if you see these, because this is really key. This is how you change everything, okay? Okay, good. All right, so these little gray boxes. I really love this feature. This is so neat. So let's say I have three moving averages on here, and we're gonna change them up. But if I say, oh, this one's in the way, I want to get rid of that one, you can click show hide and it will take it away. And even with let's do it on these down here. You can click show hide, it looks like a little eyeball, I guess, and it will take it away. It's still there. You can minimize it and kind of get it out the way, but that way you don't have to keep going up to indicators and pulling it back on here. You can just hide it. Hide it. Hide it. Whatever you want to do, you can hide it. And you can just pull it down here or whatever and get it out the way. And then just bring it back if you want to peek at it. I think that's pretty neat. Because sometimes I'll have different moving averages on here and they're getting in the way and I can just hide one of them, okay? Isn't that so cool? We have to pay for Trading View when we use, I think you can use 3 indicators. Where's my list here? I don't know where it went. With the free, you can use 3 indicators per chart. If you want to use more, you have to upgrade to Pro. Brittany. Okay. All right. So, and that chart, the comparison chart, is on their site. If you click upgrade, it'll go over the plans with you before you upgrade. All right. So we can customize each indicator by going to Format. So the second button on here is Format. So I'm going to go to my moving averages. I usually set a 200 moving average, right? A lot of us like that 200. Woo! All right, 200. 200 is going to go under the length. I'm going to leave it at close. That's what I'll change on that one. Just put it at 200. And then you can change the style. I like mine pink, and I like mine bold. I like my lines bold because we like to make sure we know when it gets there, right? And you can change how it looks. I just leave it as a line, okay? And I'm gonna click OK. There it is, 200 moving average. Move that around. And then you can go to do another moving average. You can, when you first put it on there, you see they all kind of line up, you know, it's a standard one. There's 2 of them there, but they're just overlapping each other until you change the features. And then, so I'll do a blue moving average, and I'll make, you can, this is the thickness right here. So you can click this and drag it for however thick or thin you want the line. And then input, you can go to length, and I usually, you can do a 10 or you can do a 13, whatever you guys use. I use 13. And then there. Then we've got a third one. We're format it. Let's do a 20. And I will make that red. And that's it. So for the moving averages, you just change the length. Some people use different ones. Some people use a 34. Some people use a 20. But you can add as many as you want, remember, and you can hide it and bring it back whenever you want. Okay. Actually, I don't do those close together like that. I do this at 34. Whatever. Yeah. Okay. So so yeah, that's the moving averages. I leave the MACD pretty much the same. And the other thing, some people wanted to know how to add it. I know Reginald puts his on top there. Sometimes the RSI connected with the MACD. So it's very easy. You'll just put your hand on this line, the RSI line, and you will slide it up, and it combines it. Did everyone see that? Combining, so you can combine the indicators. Once you have them on your screen, I simply just clicked on the RSI line and drag it up on top of the MACD, and it overlaps it. Any questions about that? Yep, perfect. And if anyone uses the stochastic, for some reason, if you see it's real jagged like this, my setting for the stochastic is usually 533, because if you watch here, it'll smooth it out. You see that? So it's just smoother. So when you first put a stochastic on there, you can go to format and just go to input and put 533. And that's just how I use it. I don't use it much anymore because the MACD tends to be a little bit, or I pretty much just use RSI, but if you use stochastic, 533 is a better setting. And RSI, just leave it at 14. You can, again, click on, so they kind of combine here in this screen, but the features are still here. You can click on format, and I usually change my, so any of these features, you can change the color, you can change everything about it. I change it to yellow, and I usually make it a little bit bolder. And yeah. That's pretty much it. If you want to change your price line of overbought, oversold, you can change these over here to 80. Sometimes people want to say, well, I want to wait till it's 80% oversold. So I'm going to change this to 80 and 20. So you can do that. There. For some reason, it doesn't show up very well, the 80-20, but I think it just makes, yeah, the 80 is the top of this purple line, and then the 20 is the bottom of this purple line, because we've combined it with the MACD, so. Yes, you could do the same to remove what? The RSI from the MACD, Kevin? Yeah, if you want to, if you want to remove it, so if you want to remove any indicator, you can click the X and it will delete it. Yeah, that didn't work too good. Now I put it on our chart. So yeah, you should be able to slide it off, but I usually just delete it. And then you can always click plus sign here and then add the RSI back again. But I think it's just easier to add it on there by sliding it up. And if you want to delete it, I just click the X to just get it off of there. Let's see, maybe if you slide it down. Yeah, so if you slide it down, it puts it onto another one. So I just delete it. And then you can just always add it back. Does that make sense? Go back to properties. I think you can adjust the thickness to the RSI. Yeah, you can adjust pretty much everything. Let's see. Yeah, you can adjust here. Yes, I think I've done that before too. The upper and the lower bands. So, and then you can change the features of the line to make it solid. And you can change the color if you want it bolder. Is that what you were talking about? So that you can see it better. So pretty much, if you play around with this thing, you can change everything about it to fit what you want it to look like. And it's all under properties or formatting. Okay, so yeah, Pam, you can change the lines. You can go to change it to 80-20, make it darker so you can see it. So whatever your visual pleasure is, then you can change that. And then click OK. So now you can see the over, on the RSI, you got your 80 line, you got your 20 line, and if you're waiting for it to go above 80, then you can clearly see that on there. Perfect. Let me see if there's anything about indicators. Overlapping. Yeah, you can also save those as favorite. I mentioned that. Any questions about the indicators? I know that's a big one. You can pretty much add any indicator and change it the way you want it. Now, once you have your chart set up the way you want it, I love this part. Okay, so you can save your chart layout by going up to this little. So let's say you're setting it up and you just want to save it. You can save it so that it'll come up this way when you open up your account again. But I also save the chart as a template. This is very important because if you do all this work to change it the way you want it, you're going to want to save it as a template, okay? So what you'll do is you will right click on the screen and you'll go to Insert Study Template. And you're gonna go to Save Indicator Template As. And you can see, some of these were on here, I don't know, but I call mine Fab 4, I don't know why. But that's my main template. And so I will go to save. You can go to save, and then you can name your template the way you want it. You can also set it to save it. So if I'm on the 1 hour now, you can set it to save as the interval. So it'll always pull it up as a 60-minute, or it'll always pull it up as a 15-minute. So you'll name it and you'll save it, okay? Click save. And then when you want to go load it again, you'll right click once you open up whatever chart you want and you want to see it as that template, you can pull it up again. So if I pull mine up, it will come up. And mine pretty much just looks like this. This is the template that I use. Pretty simple. Yeah, so you can save that, and then what else do I want to say about the template? Yeah, so the reason, so sometimes people will be looking, so we know that we sometimes look at the hour chart. We may use a scalping strategy. We may use a more long-term strategy. So that's the good part about saving the template, is because you can have different strategies. So you can say, I'm going to pull up this template if I'm scalping, and I'm going to pull up this template if I'm looking for long-term, looking for swing trades or whatever. Yes, this service isn't associated with IML. It's a completely separate platform that any trader can use for market analysis. And again, most people use the free version, but I think they've changed some of the features where it is a little bit more beneficial to maybe get the basic paid version. So it just depends on what you're using it for. But yeah, this is on top of anything else that you're doing. So yeah, so that's the template. So you can save as many, as many templates depending on what plan you have. I think you can only save one or so with the free version. So let's look at these tools over here. I'm going to go to these tools. So there are a lot, and I'm actually going to just take these off for now because they're in my way. I'll just leave this one. All right, so how do you mark your chart? You have it set up the way you want. There are a gazillion tools over here. I want you guys to look to the left, right under your login name here. We got the cross here I showed you. Now we're looking at lines, okay? This first tool over here is trend lines. You got angles, horizontal lines, vertical, however you want to mark your chart is here. You just have to play around with it and see what you like, all right? I use the trend line a lot to simply draw a trend line, okay? It's very, very simple. Click on the trend line. I'm going to click on it again. You want another one? You can add another one. You click on the bottom of where you want to start your trend line, and you hold it and drag it up, and then click again to put it on there, okay? These little circle dots on the end mean that it's movable, okay? So if you click on it and you see these little dots, that means you can click on that circle and you can move it at that time. Once you double click or click on it a second time, then it will put it on your chart. Or click on the main screen, okay? So you can see that this line is on here, and then if you hover over it, you can change it, okay? So that's the trend lines. You can put as many lines as you want on here. It's very simple. I think that's why a lot of traders use this, because it's very simple. You can see it. It's nice and clean. You can change the colors. So any indicator or anything tool that you put on here, if you see this box come up here, you can change the structure of the line. So you can change the color if you want it yellow, if you want it thicker. Anything you put on here, you can change. That's pretty much all I use. I just put the line, on. I don't play with all, everything, and just try to keep it simple. But yeah, just know that you can change it however you want it to look. Okay. So that is a trend line. The other main one I use is the horizontal line to draw support and resistance. So you may use the trend line, and you definitely will use the, oh, I forgot I clicked on that. 1 second, because I'm going to try to get these off of here. To delete the line, you can just click on it, and you'll see the little circles come up, and just go up here and click this trash can. So to get the lines off, you click on it, the box will come up here, and you can click remove. You'll click on this, and oh, wait, my mouse is going crazy. Hold on. 1 second. Let me use my screen. Okay, so that's the trend line. So the horizontal lines. So you got your chart up. You want to set some support and resistance. You want to throw some lines on there. So you just use the horizontal line, and you can click on it and put as many as you want. You can put one here. You're looking for reversal areas. I'm not going to go into how to do that because I'm just showing you the platform. But yes, it's very simple. I think it's cleaner to see the reversal areas on TradingView. It's very clean. You're looking for the points where price reverses, right? So it's simple. You just click on this horizontal line and you go to there and you throw the line up, okay? Much easier than TradingView. Sorry, I don't mean to talk bad about, I'm sorry, MetaTrader. I know people use that, but to me, this is easier. So you put your line up there and you can actually click on it and just drag it up. If you want to see where price hits several times, boom, you can slide it up and say, I want to leave it there, and then click off of it, okay? Pretty simple. Let's see if we can find another area. Want to put another line up there. So this is on the 1 hour chart. If I like this area here, I can put it there. Whatever you like to do. So that's how you do that. Now, if you want to set your zones, a lot of people that went to the event, okay, when we went to the event and we were learning how they mark their chart, they were using zones, okay? So I'm going to skip a little bit down in these tools and go to the shapes. Okay, so under this little paintbrush here, you'll see a rectangle, all right? If you want to set a zone instead of these thin lines, because remember, price doesn't always come perfectly, you know, to the to one price area, but it might go to a zone. So they were setting zones with these rectangles, okay? You guys remember. And a lot of people do this. So you can just set the triangle, click where you want to start it, and click it and drag, and it will set this zone for you, okay? Or it's just a rectangle, an area that you want to pay attention to that price might reverse, okay? And you can click on it and drag the whole thing if you want. 1 second. You usually can click it. Oh, maybe it's not letting me do that. Okay, well, whatever. All right, so it's being funky, but yeah, so you can set this zone here. And again, you can delete it if you want to move it. And put another triangle. So you can do that wherever you want on a chart. You can set these reversal zones with a rectangle. You can put it up here. You can draw it from the wick to the body. Click on it where you want to start it and drag it, okay? And then you can make it longer if you want it to go back further, however you want it, all right? Same thing here. If you wanted to set, instead of having this line here, if you wanted to set a reversal zone, you just do a rectangle. And I'm going to take this off, right click and remove this line. I'll remove this line. You can remove lines by right clicking on it and clicking remove, okay? So now you've got reversal zones instead of lines. So you can do it either way. Does that make sense? Type 1 if you're following me. Is it Eli? So this is just another tool. You can definitely start with MetaTrader if you like. You can, because MetaTrader you can place, you can place trades and you can attach your demo and your live account. So it's a good place to start for analysis. But this is just another option. You don't have to use TradingView. It's just something that when you get more comfortable with looking at the chart, it might be easier for you to use this one. But you don't have to. You can definitely stick with MetaTrader. A lot of people do still use that. What is the feature that they use to drag from? Oh yes, I'm getting there. Yeah, I'll get there, Cass, with the pips. I will be showing that. So if you use it, oh, Elaine, okay. Oh, you spelled it. Okay, got it, Elaine. Okay, yes, yep. So either one, whatever you're comfortable with. All right, so that's the zones. That's the support resistance. You can play around with that however you like. I think it's just like I can throw lines up in a second. I can just click the line, boom, put the line there. Click this line, put it down here. So that's my whatever reversal area. And then now I will say when you go and change your time frame, if you go to the 30-minute, it's going to adjust the screen a little bit. So your lines will still be there. But they will just readjust, how price readjusts a little bit because you're looking at it from a different view. So you can see that my lines are still there. Sometimes you want to draw your support resistance on a 4-hour. It'll get a little crazy. Just remember, use your scroll button and kind of use this over here to resize, okay? So now we're looking at the 4-hour, okay? So you can do it. It will hold, it will stay on both. On any time frame, you'll be able to see your lines. Sometimes people will change their color of their line depending on what time zone they draw it on. You can do it however you want. So you can have your 4-hour support and resistance red and thicker. You can do your 1-hour support and resistance. You can change that color just to show that that's your 1-hour time frame. I do know people that do it like that. So that, because remember, your higher time frame reversal zones are stronger. So that way in your head you can differentiate the color. If you want, I don't, I just leave them all one color. So, but that's the good part about this. You can do that, change it how you want. Okay, so I think that's enough for that. So you got your lines, you can do whatever else you want. You can do an arrow, you can put that on here, pointing to whatever, okay? You can put text. If you go to the letter, you can type a box and you can write 15-minute support and resistance or whatever you want to write. Reminders for yourself, 4-hour support and resistance. You can put text on there and you can put that in that box. Say, hey, that's my 4-hour support resistance, okay? If you're doing an overview or something, you can type whatever text you want, use it how you want, okay? So that's the text part. You just click on the text and click the box, and you can change the features in here and type it and click OK. All right. So you can play around with that. You can put it in the trash. So anything you can do, you can click on it and you can throw it away. All right. Now, for those of you who do draw the A, B, C, D pattern, that's also on here if you're drawing patterns. Okay. I don't know how to draw patterns on my own. That just confuses me. Maybe eventually I'll learn it, but I don't. I understand how it works. But if you want to draw those patterns, you can click on that pattern and you can start at your X and then your A, your B, your C. This is not right, but C, and then D, wherever. So that will put your pattern on here, okay? So you can do that for those of you who do draw patterns, like your bat patterns and your Gartley or whatever. Those are on here too. And you got Elliott Wave, you can draw those on here as well. Now, if you've ever seen, I know in IML too as well, the traders or any person showing their chart where they're entering at, you have this part right here is a long position, meaning they're looking at a buy or a short position. they have on here looking for a sell. You'll see this on people's chart a lot. So this is just showing where, this isn't positioned right, but let's see. Oops. If you guys have ever seen this. So basically what this picture is, I'm gonna move this to somewhere where it makes sense. Okay, so they are entering here at this price. Let's say this 04802. If you see this price, I'm looking here at the right. So everything kind of lines up. This little crosshair, you can see what price is on the right side. So this is basically showing where they're entering a position, okay? So they're entering for a buy. This green area means this is where they're buying at. And then they'll slide their target up to wherever. So let's say their target was at this price, 0.75943, okay? And then the red part is showing their stop loss. So basically the reason why they use this, guys, is because when you enter a position, you want to assess your risk to reward ratio. So a lot of times you may only want to do like a 3-to-1, meaning your goal is to only risk like 1/3 of what you're really going to gain. So you're able to adjust that and kind of see, yes, this is a good trade because I'm only risking this much, but my target is going to be up here. So it's a way to measure the risk to reward ratio. I don't personally use it, but it is there, just so that you know why those things are on the charts. It's because they're planning their move. Okay, so they're planning to get in at here where this price is, this open price. They're planning for price to go up to this point, but they're only planning to risk this much. If price goes beyond this point, then they're going to get out. So that's what those things are on the chart. Hopefully that makes sense. You guys probably may not use this, but just so you know, if you see it on a chart, that's their position, whether it be short or long. They're just measuring the risk to reward ratio. Okay. Okay, another thing I did want to mention is you can also snapshot your screen. This little camera down here, you can take an instant snapshot of your screen if you want to send it somewhere or post it or whatever. And then it'll give you a link. You can copy the link and then you can post it, place it wherever you like. So that's just another feature on there. All right, how do we calculate pips? We're gonna move on to that as long as you guys don't have any questions. Yeah, isn't that cool? I mean, so you'll probably discover more as you play around. I mean, it's pretty neat. All right, so how do we calculate pips? I'm a tool user, okay? A lot of people will say they don't like math. Well, I try not to do a lot of math in this. I'm more visual. So if I have a tool that can measure my pips for me, I do use that. So let's say we got in down here at this red line, okay? 0.74764. This little tool over here where it says measure, it looks like a little L, like a little measuring tool. You're going to click on that. So click on that tool, it will turn blue. And you're going to put the bottom of it where you entered at. Okay, so you want to measure from where I entered, how many pips would be 10 pips, or where am I trying to get to? So you'll click here, you'll see that it starts at 0 on this little blue screen, the blue thing that popped up. So you're at 0. I want you to pay attention to the number on the right side where it says 0 by itself. That's where your pips are going to be. I'm going to drag it. Ooh, and the whole thing is moving, really? Okay. So click there and then unclick and then drag it. So it's going to activate the tool. And if you see as I'm dragging, that number on the right side where it says 0, that is your pips minus the last digit. So you'll see that if I'm looking for 10 pips, that would be, well, let me do, okay, I'm gonna switch time frames because this 1 hour is not, I mean, you can do it on any time frame, but I'm trying to measure 10 pips. All right. And so let's see if I start here. And well, let's do 30 pips. Let's do 50 pips. If I'm looking for 50 pips, then that would be up here. So you're going to drop the last number on that 3-digit number where it says 505, 500. You see that 3-digit number? So that's 50 right there. 50, about 50. So that's how you measure the pips. If you want 40 pips, it's going to say 400. If you want 30 pips, it's going to say 300. So it's just the pips is dropping the last number, and that's how you can measure that. Okay, about it's a pretty good measuring tool if you want to see that. Okay, does everybody see that? So now if you're going to drag it down, let's say you're doing a sell or something, and you're starting up here, it's going to be negative. So it's still the pip. It's still the number of pips. If you're going to look for 100 pips, it's going to say 1,000. All right. So that's about it right there, 1,000. That's 100 pips. So minus that last number. Now it's going to say negative because you're dragging it downward. Okay. So if you drag it down, it's going to say negative. If you drag it up, it's going to say a positive number, but it's always dropping the last number. And then, so if you want to see a price, let's say I want to get out at 100 pips, what price about would that be? Okay, so if you, that's about 100 pips from where I started. So it'll be, I will get out at 74901. So that's why I like this tool, because you can measure the pips and it'll, you know, whatever price there on the right, that is about how many pips, you know, or what price you're going to be getting out at. So you can use that tool however you like. Does everyone type 1 if you understood measuring the pips? So it's just a guide on, so you can see, and you'll notice again on different time frames, the size is going to be different. So, you know, on a 1 hour, 10 pips is going to look much different than on the 15-minute. So this little bit right here is 10 pips, but on the 5-minute, it's going to look like a lot, you know, because it's a different view. Okay. So someone asked last week, how do you guys eyeball how many pips it is? It's because once you use this tool enough, you'll be able to see, you know, okay, this small amount, I know that move right there is about 10 pips, but I know that this is on a 1 hour, so those large candles are going to be a lot of pips. Okay, so that's about 100 and something pips right there. Okay, pretty easy. There was something else. Does anybody have any questions? Or I think there's one thing I wanted to go over, but I need to remember it first. Let me see. Oh, type any questions if you have any questions or want me to re-go over anything. On this right side over here, you'll see different tools depending on what package you have. I don't know if they'll all be active, but there is some news and stuff you can see. I don't really use the watch list. Oh, I know what it was, alerts. I need to show you guys something. So yeah, I don't use much on this right side, but just know that it's there. I'm gonna go over alerts. Oh, I almost missed that, that's important. This is just the data window that shows you, you know, the open, close, or whatever price of your candles, what indicators you have. I don't use that much either. You can do, remember, you can have ideas and different social stuff. You can have chats going on there. So it's a community still. I don't use it, but it's there. You'll see different ideas and different analysis from different people if you want to use that. Okay. There is a calendar that has news, so you can see some news that's coming out. I don't know how accurate this is on TradingView. Probably is pretty good, but you can use investing.com or Forex Factory as well. But if you're right on your chart here and you just want to peek and see if there's any news, it does give you some news stuff on here as well. And again, I don't know, it might not be available with the free. I don't remember if that feature is active. Okay, so let me see. I know, yes, it's not, yeah, no, I don't use the social I don't use the social stuff on here. I simply just use the basics of the chart, and you know, you don't want to overcomplicate it, but just for some people who like that extra stuff, it's there. Yes, it'll be recorded because I know it's a lot, and you'll probably want to go through this again and walk through it to set everything up the way you want it and remind yourself. Okay, so two other things. This layout, if you do have the Pro or the Pro Plus, you can view separate, you can view different pairs at the same time. So this is where your layouts would be. This little box up here on the right, the first one on the right. And I do use this quite often, and I love it, okay? If you can see this, this is how I view multiple pairs, and you can, same thing, you can stretch it out here, you can do whatever you want on the individual chart that you can do it on the multiple screens as well. So you can readjust it if you're waiting for price to come to a certain point and you're just watching what the current candles are doing, you can do that. And you can view different layouts. You can view them, I don't like that view, but however many you're doing, you can view it like that. You can view, I like the 4 screen. I like if I'm viewing 4. I think that's the package I have. The most I can do is 4 at a time, and that's the Pro Plus. And I think with the Pro, you can view 2 at a time, okay? So that is a good setup. You know, get your screen the way you want it, and you know, you can have it up just like this. You can mark your zones and just let it play out. And then you'll be able to visually see what's going on, okay? Okay, one last thing I'm gonna go over. Yeah, this is my favorite, one of the favorite. The main thing the reason why I upgraded was for the multiple charts and the indicators, just being able to add enough indicators. So I think that it's worth it just for that. All right, so here's the cool part. All right, so you know how a lot of us wait for that 200 MA cross, right? You can set up alerts. And I'm going to go to one, and it's not just for that. I mean, you can set it up for whatever alert that you want. The way you set up an alert is you can go over here to alerts, this little time clock, and you can see when you hover over stuff, it'll say alerts. And you can click the plus sign, okay? Or if you want an alert on a specific indicator, you can hover over that indicator and you can right click and click add alert. Hopefully everybody sees that. Add alert. So, and it will bring up the alert box. Now, you have to pay attention to the time frame that you're on, because the alert is going to trigger based on the time frame. So let's switch to the hour, because we look for the hour MA cross, right? 200 MA. So I'm going to right click and click add alert. Now you'll see up here it says 1 hour. So we're creating an alert for this time frame. And then it brings up here the condition. It says the moving average 200 is what we're looking for. Actually, I'm going to switch this. So what we're looking for is Heikin-Ashi, pretty much the price, right? We're looking for these candles to cross. So you're going to select Heikin-Ashi, and it will allow you to pretty much do whatever kind of alert you want. So you can select crossing up, crossing down, if it's greater than, less than, entering a channel, all different kind of stuff, right? So I'm going to say, let me just see real quick. So price is down here, so it might take a while, but I'm going to say I'm going to wait for it to cross up on this 200. So let's go back. So I'm going to say I want when these Heikin-Ashi candles cross up, and then it's going to say value. And I'm going to say when it crosses up on the 200. Hopefully y'all are following. So then you can put how many times you want it to alert you. Or sorry, how many times you want it. So you can specify if you want it to cross once and alert you, if you want it once per bar, whatever, once every minute, whatever. So I just put once. When it crosses the first time, I want to know, okay? Then you can put an expiry time, and you can just put that for, you know, whatever you want, the end of the week, when you want the alert to expire and go away. And then how you want it to alert you. So if you're on your trading view, it will pop up and it will show the alert on your screen. If you want it to do a sound or whatever, a beep, a chirp, whatever you want it to do. And then how long you want it to do that. So it'll alarm for 10 seconds. And then what way you want it to alert you. So I have done this before. I haven't done these in a while, and honestly, I forgot about them. But it's good because I know we a lot of times wait for these conditions to be met. So it does email you, okay? It will email you when the alert happens, the way you set it up. And you can also set it for text, but you have to have like their top package for the text, unfortunately. So the email is good for me because my email alert comes to my phone anyway. So you can do it that way, but you'll see if you go to select SMS, it will say that it won't let me because I just have the Pro Plus plan, and it will only let me do that if I upgrade to premium, okay? So I just click no thanks because I'm just gonna do I'm good with email, okay? So you can set these alerts up, and it will email you when those measures are met. The same thing, you can do it with any of these. So if you clicked on the stochastic, right, and you wanted to wait until the stochastic was doing, I'm sorry, the RSI. So you can say, let's see, RSI. Let's see if it goes outside the channel, and you can set different parameters. I usually don't set one with the RSI, but if you want to play around with that, you can. So upper bound, value. I don't know what these prices are. I never set one for the RSI, but you can. Let's see. I don't know what the criteria will be for RSI. That's interesting. Yeah, pretty much I only do moving average alerts. That's the only ones I set, but you can play around with the other indicators if you want to wait for, I want to use this RSI, the 13, I'm sorry, this moving average, the 13 moving average. You can do that as well. You can click Heikin-Ashi when it crosses up or down. Sorry, when it crosses up or down. And then you can also set certain values. So let's do this. This is another easy one. If you have a support and resistance set, right? Let's say I have one set right here, all right? You can also right click on this value and you can add an alert, all right? So price is below this, this value, okay? So let's say we're waiting for it to cross up. So you can also do Heikin-Ashi and then crossing up. And then your value is the horizontal line. So this says when the Heikin-Ashi candle crosses up from this horizontal line, you want it to alert you. And then you just select how it will alert you. Does everyone follow that? Then once you click create, your alerts will come up here. So these are alerts, I guess, that I have open now. Just from, I mean, they're not active. I really can delete them. But you can see the list here of all the alerts that you currently have open, and they will expire when you set them to expire. And then once the alerts are created, it will show down here in this box where the alerts have been triggered. But again, you'll get an email when those criteria are met, and then you can peek at your chart and see when you want to go in or not. Does that make sense? Let's see. Yeah, I would, great from Pro. Yeah, I would try to upgrade to, just start with the cheapest plan, and then just play around with it, see how you like it. But if you haven't already done your free trial, everyone should start with the free trial. That just makes sense. It's free. It's 30 days. So start with the free trial, and then what you can do is you can see what features you like the best and what you want to keep, and then it will tell you that will tell you what plan you need to get, or you can get. If you're like, oh yeah, I need these 3 charts open at a time, or okay, good. Yeah, Cass, I know you say you were gonna do the trial. That's good. Okay. Yeah, so play around with the alerts if you like and see how that works for you. But I think that was all I wanted to go over. That was pretty much everything, I think. You can set the alerts up here. There's always different ways. So you can right click and set an alert. You can go over here, set an alert. You can click this little time clock up here. So there's always several different ways you can do stuff. You can get the chart properties from up top. So just play around with it and see what you like. You're welcome, Cass. You're welcome. Good. Good, good, good. Any other questions? I will, this was recorded, so I will place this in our chat. Some people might be viewing this that maybe aren't on our team, because we did open this up to everyone. So if you want to connect with our team, the Unit of Prosperity, and see what we're doing to help traders really become profitable using our tools and using our training and different strategies, then this may be posted on YouTube, so you can always connect with us. I'll leave some links below, or if you guys are in our chat already, we will send this out to you guys so that you have access. If you're hopping on and you're just connecting with me through Facebook, just inbox me, and okay, great, Elaine, then you should be able to see it in the chat. If not, you can reach us on Facebook. You can inbox me and I will send you the recording to the training, okay? I hope you guys got some value and will rewatch this again and then play around with it. Set your chart up the way you want it, save it, and that way you can always come back to it and use it for your benefit, okay? You're so welcome. I'm excited for this week. We're going to be doing a lot of, well, we're always active in our chat. We're always brainstorming and practicing and strategizing. We have a really, really positive group. So I'm excited to see how you guys find this tool helpful. All right. Enjoy your Saturday. Enjoy. Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye. You're welcome.